Hello everybody, welcome to Technique Tuesday. Today we're going to be making a double fold window card. It looks like this and double fold till you get the greeting. It's using the Dainty Flowers designer series paper, which was a celebration item, and I know it's over but it's just too delicious and I so wanted to make this card, so I know you'll forgive me, but you know, you could stamp, you could use all sorts of other designer series papers. It's just somehow this oval gets me every time, and I want to try and find things that I can make with it. So one last hurrah with the celebration items, and this is it. So without further ado, we'll get started. As always, of course, the dimensions and directions will be in the description box below. And let me show you how we made it. So it's using a piece of Rich Razzleberry, which is 11 by 4 1/4 scored at 5.5. That's a pretty basic card base size. And then the piece of designer series paper, which is overlaid on it, is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. And then there's an oval cut out of the two layers. I did go ahead and do that, as you can see, but I wanted to try and lie it flat so you could see. I've only given 1/8 of an inch around the sides because I want to try and use as much of the pattern as possible. So I ran it through my die cutting machine and removed the oval. In the past I've done cards where I've used this. I'm not going to do that this time, but you never know, there might be something where it could pop up and be useful. This was just a piece of scratch paper to hold that in place. So I laid one on top of the other and cut through both of them at the same time, so we got the same effect. So now that it's cut and we know they're equal, I can go ahead and stick this into place. I just wanted to show it to you first before it appeared. And it's just nice because then you can go back and put some extra reinforcement around the oval, and then you can use a lighter background underneath to be able to see where the oval goes and get the layer equal. So that's the outer body of the card. The inner body is a few pieces. It's a piece of basic white and it's 10 3/4 by 4 1/8, and it's scored at 5 3/8, so it makes it be the half bone folder and give that a nice crease. The crushed curry is just one extra 1/4 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch further down. This is 5 1/4 by 4, and that will just get stuck on. And then the designer series paper oval is 5 by 3 7/8, and then it fits into here laid equally. So let me just go ahead and pop these pieces into place. Oops. So we'll pop this one laid equally onto basic white. Then we'll pop the designer series paper piece, same concept, layered equally onto the crushed curry. And then what we need to do is pop this inside the card, bearing in mind that this one opens regular style and this one opens backwards. So we put the adhesive on the back as usual. Just we then have to remember that the hinge is at this side, and we can go ahead and position it inside. Just want to do a quick check and make sure that the oval lies equally and evenly, and then we can press it into place. So there we go. It's slightly different to the original because it was actually, I think the designer series paper was like this, and there was a piece that ran up the middle, so the taller purple flower is at the edge, but of course the concept is the same. Then I'm going to use the Sentimental Park. It seems to be a bit of a current favorite of mine because I want to use the thanks that came out of there. And then for the inside greeting, I've put 2 together. I've used the 4 and then all the wonderful things that you do. And one of the good things about the polymer stamps going onto the block is that you can position as many as you want or can fit, and then you get a multi-phrase stamp. So I'm going to use the Rich Razzleberry because it coordinates so nicely with the Rich Razzleberry cardstock. So we'll just ink that up by tapping. I did a stamp camp recently, and some of the ladies who came were pushing quite hard, and then the ink kind of splurges. The polymer no stamps, no rubber is absorbent really, so the best way to get a better layer is just to tap, and then you're building up just layers. I guess they're microscopic, but you're building up layers. If you push, like I say, it doesn't absorb any more ink into the stamp. It just tends to make a bit of a mushy mess. So just a little aside there as we went by. So I'm going to stamp the thanks in the middle because that's where it wants to go, in the middle of the oval. And then we'll open it, and then using the 4 and the everything wonderful, all the wonderful things that you do, can then go in the middle of the inside, ready to be signed and given to your lucky recipient. So I'll just close the ink pad. So close this, the first one, close the second one, and then as a last little bit of embellishment, I'm going to add some of the pastel adhesive sequins, which was part of the Heart suite in the current mini catalogue. So we'll just, pop a couple. Oh my goodness, it's live. Pop a couple there, and one of the larger ones over here, just to spread the wealth, as it were. And that's it. How quick and easy is that? Oh, sorry, I bumped my camera. So there we go. It's a double fold window card. Fold 1, fold 2. It uses some of the pretty designer series paper. Bring it in and show you that it was actually 2 different styles. So it really doesn't matter the style that you use. Cut the nice oval, or you could cut a square with your paper trimmer if you don't have any of the dies. And I think that's really nice. Again, all the directions and dimensionals will be in the description box below. If you like what you've seen, please go ahead and subscribe. If you ring the bell, you'll get a notification that, oh, it must be Tuesday because Alyson's posted a Technique Tuesday. If you'd like to like it, of course, I like to be liked. If you have any comments to make, I will try my best to answer them. Any questions, feel free to put it in the message box below or email me and I'll do my best to help you. And in the meantime, thanks so much for watching.